So, John, day 4, day 5, bit of an update. So let's talk about yesterday. How did you find last night's practice? You seemed to be going all right. Seemed fairly comfortable.
Yeah. Last night, to be fair, was I don't know. I went into Goes Lane. I've been in there thousands of times, and then I just turned in a bit early with the sun, and had a little bit of an adjustment. It jumped out my skin a little bit. Shows you how wrong it can go really fast. The sun was bad. I'm not going to sit here moaning because I've been sat in the paddock and rain's been coming down at 45 degrees, or there's been mist on the mountain, but we've had a stunning practice week. But the sun was a bit tricky for me, and maybe my eyes are just not quite as good as they were 10 years ago. So I just reined it in a little bit, to be fair. My sectors on the mountain section were pretty good. So again, solid. I think we did 4 laps last night. 4 laps.
Yeah.
Sanding start, big bike, 2 on the stocker, then another one on the Superbike. So yeah, 4 laps, and I feel a bit better this morning as well. Not those, like I said before, those muscles are like screaming, and then now I'm feeling a little bit more easier into it. You're not holding on as much, but yeah, last night we're learning about the bike, put plenty of mileage into it. We're looking at fuel consumptions, fuel maps, all the little bits that concern the guys that are looking at squiggly lines in the computers, and I've just been just more familiarisation with the bike. So last night was solid. Yeah, solid.
Let's talk about today then. An afternoon session, so you didn't really have I'm going to say didn't really have the sun issues. You're still going to have the sun issues, but you went quicker again, 1:31.
Yeah, just nibbled into 30. Yeah, just
must be chuffed to bits, really.
Yeah, chuffed to bits, absolutely over the moon. Yeah, just nibbled into 31s, and again, I still feel like there's a little bit left. I'm not fully committing in a few areas, but no, the standing start light was pretty good. I was over 130 as well, which last year I was really weak on the first lap, and then settled down and went faster as the race went on. Well, you're not really supposed to do that. You're supposed to be out of the traps pretty fast. So, out of the traps over 130, over 131. So, and just enjoyed it. I just enjoyed it. I didn't really, just hit all the apexes, hit all the spots. Like say the sun's higher in the sky, and a few flies about. It was just proper TT weather. That was proper, like the best weather you'll get. The track's in perfect conditions, which just shows what the guys can do with a 1355. With Michael. So that's breathtaking stuff. That
I'm going to say you've led me on to that quite nicely, because I was going to ask, did you expect a lap record to be broken so early? Because we are like literally 5th day of the 2 weeks. It's stunned a lot of people.
Yeah, I think Michael is. He did 133s in 2016. It was real strong, and then 17 different direction with Suzuki's 18. Just flitting about a little bit team to team, but he's done his own work. He's done the BSBs, he's done the mileage, he's done flying at Northwest. He's a bit of a character. I've worked with him a bit, and he will not like the fact that everybody thinks it's the Hickey Harrison show. So that'll be definitely fueling his little fire. And we're fantastic for the Honda. It just shows how strong the Honda is. I mean, that thing's a weapon. And I've said it to a couple of people today, but if you say it fast, it just doesn't really make sense. 1:35.5, yeah, lap record. But if you analyse it deep down, how good that lap is, it is nuts. It is like off the chart fast. I mean, he is way faster than I was going, and I was hanging about. So, and he did 23.4 from a standing start on the scooter. So, on the 650 thing. So, I'm right behind him. I want him to win. I'm happy. I'm happy for the lad. I've worked with him before. He's a different character to all of us put together, really. But when he sticks the helmet on and grabs the bars, the man's an animal. So, and that was stunning performance today from all of them. Everybody's going really well. Toddy and Dean and Hillier, and I think we're all in a happy little place. I think TT's buzzing at the minute.
I mean, if we talk about, obviously you've got a day off tomorrow, is it a well-earned and deserved rest for you, do you feel?
Yeah, it is. I think it is, yeah. I mean, the guys have got a race tomorrow, haven't they?
What's your plan? Are you going to
I think we'll have a
sit
little
in the
run.
garden with a bag of butties like
Well,
you
we've
always
got a
say?
practice lap, so we can have a little run round with a new engine on the Superbike, so I'll just do a steady lap on that, bed that in, and a chain and one thing and another. So I would have liked a day off. For the event, it's great. You know, for the people that come in, you know, people have been before and seen nothing for 2 or 3 or 4 days, which is horrendous. But you know, the action so far, I believe Michael and a few of the others have done 26, 27, 28 laps. That's over 1,100 miles or something. That's a long way. So yeah, it's one of them, isn't it? You know, I'm ready to race, but the guys have had the problems, and you know they need the mileage. The newcomers need the mileage, but yeah, I'm ready for a day off. I must admit, you know, it's hard going.
If we just preview the Superbike race on Sunday, then I mean, obviously you mentioned it, the boys are flying at the front, but you're not too far behind, and you know as well as anyone that anything can happen around here, and you might be in the sniff of a podium and potential nude streak. Are you nervous about that?
Oh well, I'm not nervous about the nude streak. Davey Todd has to have a tattoo on him as well, on his bum cheek. He has to have a McPint on his bum cheek if I get on the podium. He gets on the podium. I've got a DT74 on my bum cheek. So, but just be the icing on the cake, you know. It's weird. I've always come to the TT and just rode my bikes, and wherever I finish is where I finish, and I'm unbelievable. I've won a few, but like I say, it's hard, it's challenging, it's physical. It's, you know, you've no mistakes. You know, you're stationary in the pits for 45 minutes, 45 seconds. Can all go wrong in there. Our bike's very good on fuel. Worked hard on that, so. Team have been practicing, they're on fire with that job, so looking ahead to it, the sharp end's going to be nuts, you know. I'm sure the Hickey, Dunlop, Harrison, Toddy, you know, they're hungry for it. You know, probably me, Hillier and Coward, and just, you know, hopefully I can beat them. But you know, if I had a crystal ball, I'd tell you, I've been in this position so many times and broken down, or you know, nick to win, or you know what I mean. It just, who knows? It's
what will be will be.
It will. What will be? Do you know what? The best thing for me is that everybody gets in. You know, everybody finishes the race. You know, we're all in the beer tent having a laugh about it. We have a day off on Monday, I think, do we?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So you know, that will be the atmosphere after it is what I'm looking forward to. That relief, one under our belt, and. You know, and keep focused on the program. You know, I've not took me off the ball this week. I've just been bosh, and you know, that's where you've got to approach it now. It's a big task when you're riding things. You know, they don't give you a second chance on things. So, but no, it's, you know, fingers crossed the weather's good. I never even looked at the weather. Everybody said it's going to be good, so.
Yeah, well,
I don't look at it in case it changes.
It, but it looks mega for the next few days, so yeah.
Yeah, good.
So right, well, we'll leave you to it, and I'll let you go and get some tea, and remember, keep hydrated.
Keep hydrated.
Pete, what are we on? Day
5.
Day 4, day 5.
Day
so
5.
We've got day 4 and 5.
Day 4 and 5.
So we'll catch up from yesterday. So day 4, you were quickest in the Superbike session, 133.7.
Yeah.
So just talk us through last night, because obviously it was a bit of a longer session.
Yeah.
And it seemed to work out all right for you.
Yeah, happy enough. Rode the Superstock bike and the Superbike last night. Stocker was really good. Felt really happy with it. Unfortunately, there was a couple of yellow flags about, which didn't really help us. So, but it didn't help us with a lap time at least. But actually, the bike is really good. So I finished my 2 laps on the Stocker and then just parked it. Figured I didn't need to ride it anymore. And then I had a little rest because we had such a long session. There was no twins or Supersport out, so we had we had Supersport but not the twins, and I decided not to ride the Supersport bike last night. So chilled out a little bit and then rode the Superbike. Went pretty good, to be fair, not too bad at all. In fact, did I do it the other way around? I can't even remember. Been asleep since then.
I'm sure you went
I did Superbike first.
Superbike first.
Yeah, I did
thought
do
you did.
Superbike first. I
Yeah.
did Superbike first and then Superstart. But anyway, the Superbike was standing start 133.7, so I was quite happy with that really. And we're still tweaking. The bike's not perfect, and not that you can ever get a perfect bike here, but it's just Superbike in particular is hard to ride at the minute, and they're never easy, but it's particularly hard at the minute for some reason, and I can't put my finger on why. And we're trying to figure it out. So we made some changes for tonight. Didn't ride the Stocker because I'm quite happy with it, so I've just left it alone. So we'll just go and race that on Tuesday. I think that is the first time I get to race that. But yeah, just didn't. I need to figure out. I need time. I've not had time yet to understand what I want to change, but I need to make a change still, even for the race for the Superbike, just to try and make it a bit easier.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about today, because obviously it's a bit. You've had a slightly longer session. Obviously in the afternoon, so there's no low sun. First of all, let's just talk about the little twin, because that's really not playing ball, is it?
No, not playing ball at all. Unfortunately, we still didn't even make it to 7 miles, and before it slowed down and stopped again. So, not entirely sure what's wrong with it. I've not even had a chance to talk to my guys yet to figure it out. But in fact, I don't think they've even got the bike back yet. I think they've gone to go get it. So yeah, unfortunately, I don't really know what's gone wrong with it. It ran fine at the northwest, and then seems to be having problems now. So yeah, real shame to be fair. And I don't actually know what we're going to do for the race, because I haven't even done a lap on it yet. However, there are some solo practice sessions before then, so let's see.
Do those laps count towards
So
qualifying
normally they don't count, I don't think. However, obviously I'm a super experienced rider around here. I'm sure they might tell me no, but obviously I'm going to ask if they'll allow me to do a lap on one of them, and if I do a lap and it's a strong enough lap, will I be okay to race? That's a question I've got to go and ask, because I don't know the answer to it yet, but that's what I need to go and find out.
And then after the Super Twin, Super Sport, and then Superbike this afternoon. So Super Sport,
Yeah.
How did that feel? Obviously after not riding it yesterday, happy with it?
Yeah, happy enough. Felt a little bit slow, but I think that's because I've been riding the Superbike a little bit. So yeah, but overall, bike feels really good, to be honest. Really happy with it. Just want to get racing now, which we get racing tomorrow.
Let's talk about then the Superbike session at the end of the night, because everyone's talking about that as just how quick it was. Just from your point of view, how you've mentioned obviously you're not too happy with the bike at the minute, happy enough, but still something there. What do you think that you could possibly improve upon ahead of Sunday? Because obviously now you've got at least a couple of days to not sit and stew on it, but sit and think about it a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I think I did 134.9, I think, something like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, like fast.
134.9, not being happy with it
Yeah.
either is not bad.
Yeah, exactly that. Really, that's kind of where I'm at, and I don't feel like. So I'm even to do that, I'm not stressed at the minute. So don't get me wrong, it's not like I'm not trying, but I'm not. We'd call it like that.
Yeah.
Or a European rider would say you're like this, which basically means you're on the knife edge.
Yeah.
But I don't feel like I'm like that at the minute. It's not doing exactly what I want it to do, and I want to change a couple of things to make it do what I want it to do. And I think if we can make them changes and make it do what I want, then I can get hold of it a bit and see where we actually end up. But I mean, I don't even know. Was it 35.5? Was it for MD in the end?
I didn't want to mention it, but yes.
Yeah, everyone else keeps mentioning it to me. Apparently, it's a big thing. No, it's mega, isn't it? It's good that the competition's really, really strong. It's exactly what we want, isn't it? You know, I don't want to be able to just turn up here and blitz everyone and go home and go thanks and have it easy. That's no achievement at all. You know, I want all the other riders to be fast, and I want them to be able to push me, so it makes me faster. So having that lap time from him is epic, and I'm looking forward to seeing what we've all got on Sunday.
I mean, you were just mentioning there off camera a couple of things that maybe slowed you down, shall we say. So in reality, once you get those things fixed, you're not going to be too far off the lap time that he's put in place this evening or this afternoon.
Yeah, exactly that. And I don't know I don't know if he did that on a standing start, a pulling in lap, or a flying lap. Or, no, it's okay, it's a flying lap, so same as mine. So yeah, there's next to nothing in between us. It's not a lot in it at all, but you know, we're just going to have to wait and see, aren't we? I feel I'm comfortable enough. I'm just not quite happy, if that makes sense. If I can get it to do what I want it to do, I'll be much happier.
One final question then. Just really, how much have you got left in the tank? You're saying that you're feeling comfortable. Have you got a lot left? Is there a lot left in you? Because obviously you're saying that there's still a bit left in the bike. So how much have you got left in yourself? Do you feel?
Guess we'll find out on Sunday, won't we?
Great answer. Thank you very much. Right, I'll leave you to it because I know you're very busy. Thank you.
No problem. Cheers.
For day 5, talk to us about last night because well, it didn't go to plan, did it really? Not on the Supersport bike anyway.
No, so
Superbike went all right though.
yeah, Superbike went all right. It actually went pretty wrong. I feel like I'm just whinging down your channel here, which is no good. These are supposed to be like positive diaries and everything like that. The sun's out, everything's great, but we made some radical changes with the BM, stopping everything off, lengthened wheelbases. We didn't change the gearing actually. Went out into that session. Everything felt mint. I could have got off that bike and felt like I raced it until you saw the lap times. And I was actually 2 mile an hour average off when it was trying to actually buck us off, like that Buckaroo toy I was telling everyone about beforehand. And went out after that session, thought let's make amends on the 600 because we had an engine failure with the bottom end going. Then we had an electrical problem that we thought we settled. Went out again, unfortunately, same spot, tried to make it around a lap, and it was getting to a point where it was getting dangerous, not particularly for myself, but when you start touring around here, when TT organisers always do an awesome job of like trying to reiterate the fact that when we're doing over 170 mile an hour and someone sits up all of a sudden, we got nowhere to go. And when you start putting other people's at risk, pull over. You know what I mean? Which sounds like common sense, but there's nothing common about common sense. So by the time I pulled in, it took Ballacrane like 45 minutes on the public roads with a bike cutting in and out. And it put us in a very difficult situation. And you know, the Cowton Racing team have been coming here for 11 years and they've never not had a bike on the grid. And they're friends of mine, and they've got so much passion for the sport. And it's the first time they've had to retire the bike. Even last year, where we had all the issues, we still got it on the grid. You know, we had lots of problems with the bike, but we still got it on the grid. And it's the first year we've had to actually go, we're not 100% certain what the problem is, so we can't risk it. And in that situation, we made some phone calls, see what other things we could get a hold of. If I had the laps from everyone, like every other session, you'd be like, right, you know, we'll just sit the 2 races out. It's only 8 laps. But because we only had 7 laps going into a Friday, we need laps. And Matt Stevenson, God love him, destroyed his femur, his wrist, and Mac, amazingly even, it didn't touch his hair. He has this amazing mullet that he gets permed, and it just not a hair out of place, Michael. It was borderline mythical. It was outstanding. No, but all kidding aside.
So you've moved on to the RC Express for the Supersport on the R6.
Yeah, so
you rode that today. First time out on that today. Happy with it?
First time on an R6 round the TT course, and you know, impressed with the bike. It turns like a longboat in Italy, but the good thing about them lot, you know, Richard Maxson, he's working really hard and getting the bike up and setting, and everything that we're asking for, we're getting, and we're going to lead up and get 8 more laps under our belt. That'll lead us into the senior, and we're definitely going to have to treat the first couple of races as practice. But as you can see with a smile on my face, if you came and interviewed me last night, I would have been bloody, you know, right face like a slapped arse. But we've got the weather, so has everyone else, and it's just insane the pace. You know, Michael's gone and beat the official lap record unofficially because obviously we're not in race pace. Hickman's gone and banged out a serious time in Super Sport. He's broken the lap record, and Michael yet again in Super Twins has gone and done the same. It's just gonna be what a year. What a year.
Talk to us about the Superbike today. 128, I think we did today.
Yeah, I'm a little bit off Hickman. No, it's we've jumped up another 2 mile an hour, and considering the amount of laps that we've had, it's going the right direction. But we're just playing catch up. We're playing catch up. You know, it's a competitive sport. We want to be competitive, but I am happy. We're not going backwards. We're going forwards, and that'll lead us into the next stage, which will be first race on the Superbike, which is
Sunday.
It's Sunday
on the Superbike. We've got Supersport race tomorrow.
That's terrifying.
And then Superbike on Sunday.
Right, happy days. So we've got 6 laps of pure fury on that, and we're getting there. And
you've got a smile back on your face.
I've got a smile back on my face, and it's getting worrying because you know when you get close to that goal, the more nervous you become. And I've got that target lap time in my head, you know, and compared to, you know, all the other viewers going, well, that's miles off the front runners. But that's what this place is about. It's about coming in and beating yourself. And if I can just get that lap out the way, I'll be even happier, and I can just enjoy it a bit more, flowing. And this place is totally counterproductive, because the closer you get to something, the worse you get, not the better. And I just need to take a couple of chill pills and just take some breaths. Just be more Michael. Be more chilled.
Be more Michael.
Be more Michael. There you are.
We'll better leave you to it, because you've got a set of keys to find. So
no one likes the grass.
We'll leave you to it. Thank you.
See you in a bit.